What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Komaris, and as you can see by the title, today we're gonna be discussing my thoughts on the This Is It documentary. Now, I've been avoiding this documentary for a very long time. Like, when it first came out, I just immediately knew that I wouldn't be able to handle it. I feel like it was going to make me like super emotional because of the connection that I had with Michael Jackson, just through like embracing and experiencing his talents and things like that as a child. So I didn't want to see the last of him on video. It actually didn't make me as emotional as I thought it would have. It wasn't really as it wasn't really that much of a hard watch. But one thing that I did realize that's gonna be like the overall scheme of this video is like this tour was definitely him preparing for that moment and him basically using the tour to keep him going, because this was supposed to be his farewell tour, I believe. And I just felt like I know it's wrong I hate when people say this too, when they act as if they know when someone's about to pass, or like they knew that they were about to pass. But in a way, it kind of felt like he knew that. It's like he knew that his time was coming, basically. It's like he knew it was coming, so he wanted to do this farewell tour, but in a way, like, he wanted to leave. He wanted to have that tour done, or just preparing for it before he left. Because, like, if you're watching him, he's not performing at his best, but you can tell that he's a little bit in pain, but he's also a older person. Like, Michael Jackson has been a legend. He reached legend status before he was even like a teenager. Like, he already was one of the greats before he even became a teenager. He's been working for a very, very long time, and that causes wear and tear on the body. No matter how much doctors and help and all that you have, when you're human, your body's still gonna wear and tear. Especially when you're such a person as dedicated to your craft like Michael Jackson. Like, you never sit down, you never stop thinking about this, you never stop searching for inspiration, you never stop working out. And you know, with time, it's gonna tear down your body. But when you create something so great as Michael Jackson has, like, you're able to look back on all those things and just, you know, be in wow. And when you no longer can move, you can appreciate what you've done. And watching the documentary, as I said before, like, you can tell that he was in pain, but in a way, this was bringing him the happiness that he hasn't had in a while. Because I think even before this tour, it was like, I believe at least 10 years before he had done a tour before. And just like the whole preparation process, you can see how heavily involved he was and hands-on with like the audio production and the overall art direction and song sequencing, and even, you know, with choreo. Like, Michael Jackson knew what he wanted and he knew what worked, and he was also learning even though he already knew. And this is like a very big lesson that I believe everyone should take from this documentary, is that you will always have to learn, and you will always have to grow and, you know, educate yourself. Because at this time, like, it was the early 2000s, well, early 2000 coming upon the 2010s, and he was learning how to use inner ears. Like, that's a new technology that he isn't really used to. And while performing, like, he was having a hard time like trying to hear himself and trying to like stay on cue and stuff like that without it like kind of being painful for him. And he was just real respectful about, even though he didn't understand like what was going on, he was like real respectful about it. And he was also just very kind, like throughout the process of him learning and understanding like these changes as he prepared for this tour, because I just think it just shows how much of a nice person he is, and also shows like how much he's possibly been through. And because he was always saying like I love you to his teammates and God bless you after like critiquing them or asking them for something to change something and things like that. And that just shows like he truly cares about people. And in a way, I believe that came from like all the hate that he received, you know, with the court cases and just overall hate, period, like throughout his entire career. And also from, you know where the main hate came from, and abuse and stuff like that. And in a way that made him a kind person instead of a cold-hearted person like it makes most people nowadays. And I just really respect that, and I love that about Michael Jackson, because he could easily just become this mean, cold-hearted person, or a Devo, because of how much success he's had and how hard he's worked, and feel like he deserves to be appreciated and all of that. But he was also letting them correct him without getting defensive about it. He was letting them be the masters of their craft and encouraging them to be. And he was instilling confidence in a lot of the dancers, and even especially the guitar girl. Like he was like, this is your moment. When you have your solo, this is your moment. You should take over. You should believe in yourself, this and that. And I just really love that about him, like, so much. I ran out of storage and they all of a sudden wanted to decide to cut our grass, so I'm about to cut this video a little bit shorter than what I usually do. So please excuse the lawnmower. But it was like like I was saying, like his emotional connection and just the fact that he was embracing his team, it allowed his creative desires and expectations to be met a lot easier, because they were connected on a more emotional level instead of elite artists and a worker trying to just fulfill tasks type of thing. Like, it made them feel like they were on the same, he made them feel like they were on the same even playing field. And when you make people feel like that, it makes it easier for them to work with you. Like, that's how I feel, like, even when like working on projects together. Like, I want to get to know you. Like, I want to understand how you work, and I want you to understand how I work, and I want to know what you believe in the most, and what are your expectations and your goals, your desires, and things like that, so that we can come together and meet and actually make this thing happen. And then that also leads to things happening better than we even already like preconceived. And yeah, I just really love that. About like this entire documentary. It was really sad though, because like you could see him fighting very hard to like try to make these things happen, but in a way it still didn't seem like he was fighting hard for like to make the tour happen. But he was just enjoying his time, and like it was the most happy he's been in a while, and you can clearly feel and see that. And I feel like I hate to say it, but I really feel like he didn't think that he would be able to actually have this tour. I feel like he knew his time was coming. Like, all the conspiracy theories aside and things like that, just human to human, I really feel like he was just using this to cope with the fact that he knew that his time was coming. I just know that. And also, like, nobody was seeing Michael even when he wasn't at the best of his best. Like, age wise, and all the pain and things like that did not stop him from getting in that field and tearing people up, like dancing. Like, he was going head to head with those dancers, and the dancers were amazing. yeah, Michael was definitely keeping up with those dancers, and it was just so dope to see, because like you could see like Michael was like, I'm not gonna let them outperform me. I don't care how old I am, and things like that. He was also like dressed very well during these, just during the rehearsals and stuff. Like he had this jacket with these elevated shoulder pads, and I actually found a black jacket just like that I wanted to wear for like my take on a modern Black Panther. And you know, I bought it on Depop, and then the person gonna tell me, I actually can't find this, and that. But I really just feel like he didn't want to sell it to me. Honestly, I wouldn't want to give it up either. So I understand that, but I hope I find something like that again. But anyways, yeah, I think that's really all I have to say, honestly. But I do feel like Michael knew that his time was coming, and he was using this tour as an outlet or just a way to cope with that. And maybe fulfilling this tour, after fulfilling this tour, he probably would have just all the way given up on, you know, fighting for his life or something like that. But he was definitely fighting, and he, you know, probably did think that he was going to be able to complete this tour, and that would have been one of his, you know, well wishes and goals to do on his bucket list before he left. But unfortunately, he didn't get to do that. But I just hope Michael knows, or that, you know, we still love him and we appreciate him regardless. And I just hope that he's at peace now, and that he feels the love and sees the love even in the afterlife, because the man has been through a lot throughout his entire life. His whole childhood has been robbed from him. He's been misunderstood, disrespected, unappreciated, but he's also been loved, honored, respected, and everything. And I just hope that he felt that even on earth, and I especially hope that he feels that in the afterlife. I love Michael Jackson. I really appreciate him for everything that he does and that he's done, and how much he's inspired me and given me, you know, someone to look up to and appreciate and study as I go on the path of becoming not necessarily one of the greats, but becoming the best version of me. And if that leads to me becoming one of the greats, then I appreciate it, but that's not what I'm doing any of the work that I do for. Wanting to bring every idea that I have to life, and, you know, not just sitting on it, and, you know, believing in myself, like how Michael believed in himself, regardless of how people felt about him, or they thought of his capabilities. But yeah, rest in peace to Michael Jackson. As you know, it has just been 15 years of him passing, but we still remember him, and we will always remember him. He is the greatest performer of all time, and he will never be topped. That's just facts. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out all the rest of my videos that I have. And if you're looking for me on any other platform, check the link in my bio, and you can click my link tree, and it will take you to everything: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everything. But yeah, thank y'all for watching, and I'm sorry about the lawnmower again.